Chris Davis with some important words there last night. Joined now by Peter Schmuck from the Baltimore Sun, Roch Kubatko from MassSports.com School of Rock. And the obvious question is, how important is it for the Orioles to retain Chris Davis?
Oh, it's very important. And yesterday, Tom, Chris Davis was saying that he wants to return to Baltimore. Dan Duquette, during the season ticket holders event before the game, said he wants to keep Chris Davis. That all sounds great, but it's going to be a challenge to keep Chris Davis, especially with what he's done so far.
Now, Rock, when you look at the whole Chris Davis situation, I mean, the best home run hitter since 2012 in baseball.
Right, and he's probably going to get paid like one. But, I've talked to people in the organization that say, he is a favorite of ownership. So I wouldn't just necessarily assume, okay, he's out the door with all these other free agents, all the Scott Boras clients. Of the three, and that includes Matt Wieters and Wei-Yin Chen, you may at least have better odds with Chris. They're going to make a big push for him. That bit, again, though, as we know, it's going to be extremely difficult. The price goes up if every game with him. I give him credit for saying he didn't want to talk about his contract situation. He's not the only one. Any of these pending free agents don't want reporters coming to them and have to answer the question every day, because it does look selfish. They're supposed to be focused. But something with Chris, this was tweeted today, so it must be accurate. I saw it on Twitter. According to Pitch FX, the home run that Chris hit last night, the walk-off, that was the lowest and most outside pitch that a left-handed hitter has ever hit for a home run, which you can believe it. I wouldn't even be able to fact-check that, but I believe it. Somebody actually did, because there's no way that pitch could have been lower or farther outside that he would have been able to even reach it. One hand, flick it. He hits it over the bullpen shed. So, yeah, guy's got ridiculous strength, and, yeah, he's going to get paid quite a bit.
Now, the one thing that Buck Showalter doesn't like to say about one player carrying a ball club, but when you look back since the All-Star break, Peter, I mean, Chris Davis has had many a key hit and a key home run.
Yeah, Buck Showalter doesn't like to say that, but he essentially said that yesterday. I mean, Chris Davis is this streak he's been on for the last few weeks has been otherworldly. He is a special talent. But the fact is, he also is a guy who strikes out a great deal. He's going to strike out 200 times a year. Those things will all factor into how much he gets paid this offseason. And, of course, his agent is Scott Boras. So he's going to try to get paid as much as he can. Can the Orioles afford him? That's the big question.
Having an interesting conversation with Buck just today when you were down there, Peter, about the whole situation with Chris Davis maybe trying to hit the ball farther than trying to hit it at the shortest point in the ballpark, and he's made some adjustments there.
Yeah, he was pointing out that, and a lot of guys do this. I mean, Mark McGwire was guilty of this during his career. He got so used to people oohing and awing over his 500-foot home runs, he didn't realize that he could hit a home run 350 feet without swinging hard, and Chris is in the same situation. This is a guy who's just country strong. He's an unbelievable talent when it comes to hitting a baseball a long way, but he can hit the ball out at any point in the ballpark, and he does not have to do it with his best swing. We saw that last night.
Now, when you look at the Orioles overall, they have several young players that are very controllable for years to come. And, we're making a lot out of Chris Davis right now, Rock, but the Orioles do have some very good young players that can be here for a while.
Yeah, if you look around the infield, Manny Machado and Jonathan Scope aren't included among those pending free agents, yet we seem to obsess over them as well. I know Dan was asked yesterday about Machado possibly trying to extend him, and he's been asked that in the past, and he said that, they talked about it a few years ago, about trying to lock him up to a long-term deal. Hasn't worked. There's time to revisit that, but that's kind of how we're wired. Whenever something's going on really good now, we worry about the future. Every time Chris hits a home run, we say, oh man, that's going to cost more. We're not going to be able to bring him back. We got to sign him. We're already obsessing over Manny, who's under team control through 2018, but that's what we do. We worry about these sort of things, but they are going to try and go ahead at some point and start talks again about an extension. And I'm sure with Scope, we're going to be hearing the same thing.
And when you look, Peter, at this whole situation with the Orioles, they do have a lot of good young talent that's not past their prime.
No, absolutely. When you're talking about a Jonathan Scope who's just basically growing into his body, and he's showing some fantastic talent right now, and I think there's more to come. I had a friend recently, we were talking about the Orioles, saying basically, well, how do you know that Jonathan Scope isn't just a 270 hitter? I said, if Jonathan Scope is a 270 career hitter with his power and the way he plays second base, he's gonna make a 9-figure contract someday. I'll take 270, but I think there's more there.
And I like the maturation of him as a player, what you've seen. When he turned a double play on Billy Butler yesterday, granted, Billy Butler is so slow, Scope could do a selfie with J.J. Hardy and then make the throw to first. But nonetheless, that internal clock that Buck talks about, he knew he had time. He took the throw with Reddick bearing down on him, stepped aside, set himself, still made the throw, as opposed to a lot of young guys that might have just rushed it thinking they had to. You're seeing him develop as a player.
As always, we appreciate their comments. Roch Kubatko from MassSports.com School of Rock, Peter Schmuck from the Baltimore Sun. Check them out. They always are informed and always have great coverage.